Hey everyone, welcome to another World of Warcraft Dragonflight Alpha video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Devastation Evoker. And so this is more than just like a talent deep dive. We're going to look at the spells and everything. This is a brand new class, so we are going to dive kind of deep. If you haven't seen it, I already did a video where I went over the base level abilities, and we also went through and took a look at the class talent tree. So now we're going to be looking at the specialization talent tree and kind of getting a feel for some of the different abilities and what they do, and just seeing what we can do with it. So that's going to be this video. So with that said, before we get started, please let me know via likes and comments and stuff like that if you're enjoying the videos that I'm putting out here. I'm using these videos as a gauge to figure out what sort of audience there is for content that I can make post alpha when the expansion is actually out. So if you are interested in seeing actual guides and things like that, please let me know and continue to let me know through the rest of this video series. So that being said, let's go ahead and get in. All right, so we get the talent tree. We're going to look at our active abilities, and then we're going to get in and look at our choices, and we're going to look at our passives. So hopefully you're following along from the first video, and you can check that out. If not, I'll put a link to the video in the description, and you can go check that one out first. Okay, so we know we have a limited amount of stuff here. Also, why does it look like I lost an action bar? What's going on? I did. I lost 2 action bars. Why? Okay. So yeah, not a whole lot going on in here. Just a quick recap. We got 4 abilities we really use. We've got another ability on a 2-minute cooldown. We've got a instant cast sort of ability thing here. We got a couple of defenses and some CC. That's pretty much what we have. So not a lot going on. So let's get into this tree and take a look. All right, so we have Pyre. This costs 3 essence, so we have a new essence spending ability. Currently, the only one we have is Disintegrate, which takes 3 essence and is channeled. Does 4.4k damage over 2 seconds and slows the target. This takes 3 essence. Lobs a ball of flame, dealing 1300 fire damage to the target and nearby enemies. And it's instant cast with no sort of cooldown. So this is an AoE ability, I guess, whereas our Disintegrate is single target. So we have to take that to get into the trees. All right, I think for this, we're going to go down the trees and like actually see what they do in order. So your Living Flame has a 20% chance to cause an Essence Burst, making your next Disintegrate, Pyre, or Charged Blast cost no essence. So Charge Blast is one we haven't seen yet. Let's see. There it is. Charged Blast costs 2 essence. Instant cast with an 18-second cooldown. Exhale a bolt of concentrated power from your mouth for 1700 spell frost damage. Azure Strike increases the damage of Charge Blast by 100% for 4 seconds, stacking 2 times. Okay, so some Azure Strike synergy. And this is a 2 essence with 18-second cooldown. Okay, so 1700. We're looking at 34. So a little over 5k, I think, if we have the Azure Strike things, which we should. Azure Strike's an instant cast. It doesn't cost anything, so we could just Azure Strike twice, and then we have a much more powerful Charge Blast. So it's a pretty strong ability on a cooldown. Okay, so this makes Living Flame have a 20% chance to cause the next Disintegrate, Pyre, or Charge Blast cost no essence. Okay, so we can cast them for free. And that depends on if we are using the Living Flame sort of kind of like spam build. Okay, Azure Essence Burst. Azure Strike is a 15% chance to cause an Essence Burst, making your... Okay, so literally we can go Red Dragon kind of over this way, which is pretty much single target. We took some talents over here that can make it multi-target for one cast after, I believe, Fire Breath. But Fire Breath has a 30-second cooldown right now. If we can reduce that, then it's a pretty nice combo. But it looks like this is kind of single target. This is multi-target on these sides of the tree. Okay. So then we have Volatility. Pyre, which is this one here, has a 15% chance to flare up and explode again on a nearby target. Okay. Pyre's essence cost is reduced by 1. So that turns it into a 2 essence cost. Here we have Azure Strike. Okay, we got that one. Deep Breath's damage is increased by 10%. Now, Deep Breath is a 2-minute cooldown. 10% increased damage as of right now is around 500. That's significant, but okay, it's 20% with 2 points in. Okay, and this will be a 30% chance. Essence Burst can stack 2 times. And then here, Disintegrate deals more damage. These are all very, like, vanilla, I feel, right now. We could kind of go down either one of these. So we're just going to go down one of them because we want to try out all the active abilities. It's a little bit annoying to try them out this way. But here's this one. Dragon Rage. 2-minute cooldown. Erupt with a Draconic Fury and exhale pyres at 3 enemies within 25 yards. For 14 seconds, Essence Burst's chance to occur is increased by 100%. Okay, so let's try what we have so far. We're going to try Pyre, we're going to try Dragon Rage, and then we're going to look at the Essence Burst thing. So that'll make Disintegrate, Pyre, or Charge Blast, which we don't have yet, free. Okay, so let's check this out. So first off, we have Pyre. Oh, that crit for 3k, that's pretty good. So that's hitting for 1600. Let's see, what are we getting out of this? Wow, those are some strong crits. Man. So definitely Pyre is a little more AoE. Disintegrate is just better on single targets. And so then our Living Flame and, as of right now, our Azure Strikes have a chance. There we go, we got it to proc, so this makes them free. I gotta admit, the animations on this thing are pretty awesome. Okay, so then we have Dragon Rage. Blah. That's pretty cool. And did we get the bounce in there? Is that what that was? Yeah, Pyre has a chance to flare up and explode again, so we got actually 2 explosions off that as well. Okay. So pretty cool ability. I mean, it's a 2-minute cooldown, so like not ideal. We are looking at this from the perspective of trying to create something that's going to work in open world content. We do have to take this if we want this, which makes Dragon Rage last 6 seconds longer, which not important. Okay, so what else? All right, red spells deal 5% more damage and healing. Okay, so right now the only red spell we have that does healing is Living Flame. But that'll make our Pyre, Living Flame, and Fire Breath deal increased damage. And Deep Breath, I believe, is also a red spell. Okay. Empower spells reach maximum level in 20% less time. So as of right now, the only Empower spell we have is Fire Breath, I believe. But I'm sure we'll get some more, so... Okay. And then here we have blue spells deal more damage. Empower spells increase your essence regen rate by 50%, last 2 seconds per empowered level. Okay. That's going to let us get another ability here. So Eternity Surge. 30-second cooldown. It is an empower ability. You focus your energies to release a salvo of pure magic, dealing spell frost damage to an enemy. If you charge it up, then it hits more enemies. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. Let's put points in. Okay, so what is this? Living Flame deals 40% increased damage and healing, but its cast time is increased by 0.5 seconds. So instead of a 1.7 second cast, it'll be a 2.3 second cast. Or Living Flame deals damage over time to enemies or restores health over time to allies over 12 seconds, and that stacks 3 times. So we can add a hot or a dot to the ability. So I guess depending on the cadence of your rotation, you may have the ability to sneak in that 0.5 for increased damage, or you may just grab the damage over time, heal over time component. Okay, and then we have Firestorm, 20-second cooldown, 1.7 second cast. An explosion bombards the target area with white hot cinders, dealing damage over time to enemies. All right, so let's check out these abilities. So we have an AoE. I'm guessing it's going to be targeted. Pretty cool. It's doing about 300 a tick. Wow, that was a nice chain of crits there. Okay, and then we have our Eternity Surge, which we're going to charge it up all the way. Wow, 6k on a non-crit will deal damage. That's pretty good. I mean, if you look at that compared to Fire Breath. Fire Breath hits pretty hard. It's got a pretty long range on it. So I think this ability is okay, Firestorm. This is probably a good one to have in dungeons, right? So the tanks, you know, got a group of enemies, you drop this on them, and you're just spitting AoE at them. That seems pretty good. I think for open world content, I'd rather have this Eternity Surge, right? If you're against one target, you just hit stage 1 and let her fly. 12k on a crit. That is insane. That is so high. that damage is it's a lot of damage, you guys. Man, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so what else do we have? Essence Burst has a 10% chance to not be consumed. Your Empower spell's maximum level is increased by 1. What the what? So this will hit 4 enemies, and this will now deal a bunch of damage over 16 seconds. That's pretty insane. Quell's cooldown is reduced by 20 seconds. Quell is our interrupt. So that turns it into 20-second, much more reasonable. Wow, that feels semi-mandatory if you ever want to interrupt anything. All right, what else do we have? Increase your maximum essence to 6. I thought we would see something like this. There usually is something like monks with chi, rogues with combo points. There's usually a way to increase those. We have a charge blast, so let's grab that. And let's take a look at that real quick. So charged blast. So this is going to hit for 1900. Okay, so it hit for about 2400. And then we can Azure Strike. Okay, it only lasts for 4 seconds. So if we Azure Strike, almost 6k, 7,000. That is pretty strong. That's pretty strong, actually. I'm sure these numbers are going to get tweaked. Okay, and then here we have a choice between Essence abilities reduce the remaining cooldown of Eternity Surge by 1 second. Okay. So our Essence abilities reduce the cooldown of Eternity Surge, which is the thing that hits super hard on a 30-second cooldown, by 1 second. Or Eternity Surge critical strikes grant you Essence Burst, which again, Essence Burst has a chance to make our Essence spenders cost no Essence. Alright, so now we got to pull some points out if we want to continue down the tree. It looks like actually we don't have any active abilities beyond that. Everything else is passives. So let's just take a look. Alright, so Living Flame has a 12% chance to reset the cooldown of Firestorm and make your next one instant cast and deal 40% increased damage. That really reminds me of Death and Decay with the Blood Death Knight, like getting the free reset on it. So that's a cool talent. I would probably pick that up if I went this direction. Pyre. Okay, Pyre. Reduces the remaining cooldown of Fire Breath by 2 seconds. That is handy. Okay. Fire Breath deals more damage over time. That goes into Burnout. Fire Breath reduces the cast time of Living Flame by 8%. Let's just say 10%. So you're going to get about 2 seconds off if you take the increased cast time modifier, like this one here. And then Pyre and Living Flame extend the duration of your Fire Breath's damage over time by 1 second. Okay. I'm getting the synergies here, but I'm definitely leaning towards the blue side for open world content. Alright, here we've got Azure Strike's damage is increased during Deep Breath and Dragon Rage. Which again, Deep Breath is here. And then Dragon Rage was the 3 Pyre throw kind of thing. You gain the maximum benefit of Mastery Giant Killer regardless of your target's health. Wow, we didn't even look at what the mastery was. Oops. Giant Killer. Increase damage of your spells by up to 22.5% based on the current health of the target. Higher health targets take more damage. Okay, so you front load a lot more damage. Okay, so this says they gain the max benefit regardless of health. That seems cool, but for cooldowns that are 2 minutes long, doesn't seem like something I want to take. Fire Breath and Eternity Surge reduce the remaining cooldown of Deep Breath and Dragon Rage by 1 second per empower level. Also okay. You're going to get some cooldown reduction on those abilities. Alright, over here we've got Eternity Surge and Azure Strike hit twice as many targets. That's insane. What the heck? You could hit 8 targets with Eternity Surge, and then your Azure Strike already hits 3, I think. Is that from a talent? Or is it 2? But I'm not sure. But double that? Wow. That's pretty nuts. And then here, Charge Blast has a 40% chance to instantly reset its own cooldown. Okay. That's cool. Or Charge Blast deals 10% more damage and strikes 2 additional enemies. Okay. Disintegrate increases your damage done to the target by 5% for 4 seconds. Disintegrate has a 6% chance each time it deals damage to cast a level 1 Eternity Surge at your target. Wow. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I'm going full right side here into the blue. Like, that's 100% what I'm going to do. So we get Pyre. We get the chance to cause an Essence Burst with Azure Strike. We'll make Disintegrate deal more damage. We'll get the stacks on Essence Burst. And then from here, Disintegrate has no cooldown. Okay, so we can just spam that. I don't know if we need to spam Pyre. It might be worth getting the reduction, but I'm not sure. We need to spend 3 more points. Deep Breath's damage increased. I think we're going to grab Ruby Essence Burst. I think we're going to do that. No, I don't want to put points into it. Like, Deep Breath is such a long cooldown. I think we'll just put a point into giving Pyre a chance to explode. Alright, blue spells deal more damage. We're going to get Eternity Surge. We're going to get Charge Blast. We're going to get Maximum Essence increased. Let's see. I don't really want Dragon Rage. I'm not worried about Quell's cooldown. Here, I think Eternity Surge, critical strikes grant you Essence Burst. Okay. Or Essence abilities reduce the cooldown of Eternity Surge. I want to reduce the cooldown. Alright. Then Empower spells increase your Essence regen. That seems good. So now we can use Essence more often in order to cast Eternity Surge more often. Alright, then from here we got to spend 5 points. I think 2 points into increasing our red spells is good. Faster Empower spells seems good. Increased level for Empower spells also is good. And then let's put another point into Pyre. Okay. Okay, Eternity Surge and Azure Strike hit twice as many targets. I like that. Azure Strike damage increased by 20%. Disintegrate increases your damage done by 10%. Disintegrate has a chance to cast a level 1 Eternity. Yeah, we want that. We want to do that. And then we got 1 point left, so we can up Azure Strike's damage by 10%, but I think we'll come over here. Charge Blast has a chance to instantly reset its own cooldown, or it deals 10% more damage and could strike an additional 2 enemies instead of 1. I think we're kind of good on the AoE front, right? So, like, we already have Azure Strike, which is going to hit a bunch of targets. We have Eternity Surge, which we can charge up to hit extra targets. We're hitting double targets already. Like, I think we go for the reset here. And boom, that is the build. That is the build I want to play. So we don't have Firestorm anymore. We don't have Dragon Rage. We mainly want to... we need to push that one. Charge Blast. Higher. Okay, so I think... it's going to be something like that. Right? So just to run through again. Basically for our Essence Spender, we want to use Disintegrate and not Pyre. We can use Pyre if we need AoE, right? So that's kind of the thing. Like, generally, we want to use Disintegrate. But if we're in an AoE situation, we do have Pyre as a backup. Okay. Then for our charged ability, we can use both of them, right? But mainly we want to use Eternity Surge because we can use that at rank 1 and it does a buttload of damage. And again, I think we save Fire Breath for AoE situations. Right? Then we're going to have Charge Blast, which we're going to use basically on cooldown. And then we do have Living Flame. But I think we mainly are going to use that like as a heal for ourselves. Because otherwise, we're probably going to spam Azure Strike. I think. You know, this is all new to me, so let's find out. So we roll into the fight, and we have Essence to spend. So we Disintegrate. And we want to cast Charge Blasts, but we want to Azure Strike twice first, then cast it. And then I think we can charge an Eternity Surge, go back into a Disintegrate. While that's on cooldown, we can Azure Strike, or if we need to, we can throw off a Pyre, right? No, because we want to Disintegrate. We can definitely throw out a Fire Breath. So is there anything invested in Pyre right now? I mean, we have this stuff, but we couldn't really help that. So really all we have, we've got points here and points here. I think that's fine. It's fine. All right, so let's do this again. Disintegrate, Azure Strike, Charge Blast, charge up an Eternity Surge, Disintegrate again because our essence is back, Disintegrate, Azure Strike, another Disintegrate, Azure Strike, Azure Strike, Azure Strike. We can get our Charge Blast again, Charge Blast proc, Azure Strike, Disintegrate. Yeah, so basically we want to use... We're just spamming Azure Strike at that point. So our Azure Strike is now hitting for what? 2.5, 1200 on a non-crit? What is Living Flame hitting for? Okay, so in 1.7 seconds, we can hit for 3.7, or in roughly a second and a half, we can hit for about 240, and we can stack our Charge Blast stuff. God, that hits like a truck. Oh, I didn't even charge it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to do but try that rotation out, right? And then let's see. We do have loadouts, so we could make one that goes the other way. So this is going to be blue DPS. All right, so then let's we could basically cut that out, right? And then let's go for red DPS. All right, so let's go for the damage increase with the cast speed and see how that does. We'll do that. Then we'll go ahead and do the blue spells. Can deal more damage. Empower spells, increase essence regeneration, increase our maximum essence. That puts us into the red zone. So now... let's see. Pyre reduces the remaining cooldown on Fire Breath. Let's try that. Fire Breath reduces the cast time of Living Flame. Let's try that. And then we could extend that and that. Okay, so now we're essentially going to switch it up. And we're going to do the red version of stuff here instead. So our main casting ability is going to be Living Flame. Fire Breath is going to be our charged. And then Pyre is going to be our essence spender. Oh, crap. Dang it. Red DPS. Okay. Alright, let's go blue DPS. Alright, blue DPS. Let's pull this stuff back out and put our abilities back in there. something. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, so that's blue. Let's go to red. Okay. All right, so for this one, let's see. We want to toss out Pyre, of course. We want to get our Living Flame dot going. We have a chance for Essence Burst to essentially not be consumed, which means Pyre spam. Then we also have Firestorm now. And Living Flame has a chance to reset the cooldown of Firestorm. Pyre is going to reduce the cooldown on Fire Breath. Okay, Fire Breath reduces the cooldown or the cast time of Living Flame. And Pyre and Living Flame extend the duration. So essentially what we want to do here is we actually want to open with Fire Breath. Or I mean we could, we could Firestorm, right? Firestorm, Fire Breath. Then we just Pyre all of our essence away. Right, and then we start casting Living Flame. Okay, that gave us the reset on the AoE. That gave us the Pyre. Alright, we charge up for Fire Breath again. Living Flame. Got the free AoE. I think we pretty much just cast the AoE when it's free. I mean, this seems pretty good for, like, big AoE pulls and stuff. We're not getting the AoE proc because we're not actually hitting Living Flame as much. Because we're getting to toss out the a Pyre. I mean, this rotation feels good too. All right. We're probably not. I wonder if we're not getting a cooldown. Yeah, we weren't. Maybe we weren't getting a cooldown reset on it because we hadn't cast it. It wasn't like on cooldown. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, if the ability is not on cooldown, we can't even get the free cast for it. Like, for whatever reason, the proc won't go. Yeah, this feels good. Feels good. Just lots of sparkles and fireworks and fire. Wow, that was a 10k crit off of something. What was that? We hit for 10k with Living Flame. Holy crap. How do we... Wow, a 10k Living Flame critical. Okay, both of those rotations felt really good. Actually, I'm excited to go check these out in open world content. So yeah, which we will do in a future video. We'll go out and we'll test out these builds and see how they do against actual enemies. And we'll make any adjustments or anything like that that we need to along the way. That's going to do it for this video, though, so don't forget to let me know via likes and comments if you're enjoying the series of videos. And if you want to see more, both, here coming up soon and also once the expansion actually releases. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I appreciate you watching it. I'll see you on the next one.